Just wanted to see if Protestantism started to appear yet, and answer is no. No, it hasn't. Wow, my trade income's gone up by 10 ducats since I checked last. So yes, apparently controlling Genoa is a good thing. Even though it's not even cored yet. Trade ideas. That's going to give me another merchant. We are still 8 years ahead of time, though we definitely want to get that next tech as soon as possible. But yeah, free trade, let's do it. The Italian cities behave as if the trade of the Mediterranean is all theirs. We will encourage men of commerce to bring this trade to our shores. And that's also given me another merchant, which we can use to steal trade from Seville. Or from Tunis. Nah, Seville's got a lot more. And I think I'm also going to have you protecting trade in Sevilla to make that happen. Alright, there are the 2 churches that we built. Can I integrate Naples? No, their relation's too low. That's why I'm improving relations with Navarra at the moment, because I will be able to get them sooner rather than later. Although I did want to save some of my money for building forts. How are we doing in terms of tradition? Fully maintained forts, 0.88. So we are actually low. We could do with another. Which I think is going to be Sassari. I suspect that there's going to be more development tied up in these 3. There is. Man, we are getting so many military points at the moment. And this ruler is a 254, so this is one where we're going to be getting a lot of Diplo, thankfully. That's where the previous ruler was definitely lacking. And we've still not got you married. Is there anyone that we are lacking a royal marriage with? Yeah, everyone. Oi, France! How about a marriage? Just cancel the Ottomans for now. Oh, and Portugal. I need to... We have ships right where we need them. I would like to steal some more maps from you. I'm going to steal the Caribbean. Oh, I can't because I have to get out to the Caribbean Sea for that one. What about American East Coast? Nope, can't do that one either. Okay. You guys, just sail out to... like... there. It'll be fine, I promise. Actually, I don't promise. It'll probably be fine. Image. Sailing, sailing, sailing. In before they managed to catch me. Portugal. Steel maps. Caribbean. 9 islands. Confirm. And there is still space to colonize out here. It's not actually that far away from territory I own. We could go expansion next idea group. I was not going to go colonial. But we're in such a good position because of my Gibraltar territory. We could. It's possible. If we did... And there it is, colonial range plus 50. That would allow me to do it. My colonial range is 275, will go up to 325. And Martinique is 318 away. Yep, we could definitely do it. We could get to the Caribbean. Which will allow me to control the trade coming into Sevilla and then Sevilla into Genoa. Which is more trade steering. Also, colonies are good because they mean more merchants. As long as you have at least 10 cities in a colonial nation, you get a free merchant. So long as I try and get at least 10 cities in as many colonial nation regions as possible, that's a bunch of free merchants. And I will need the merchants. I'm relying heavily on a high steering trade route. Disputes over the treatment of local merchants were not uncommon. All governments faced minor reports of unfair treatment and the harassment of their merchants. At the higher levels, there were complaints about banditry and privateering occurring with or at the direction of a certain state. Aragon gains Diplo insult against Milan, or we improve relations with each other, but the Berbers dislike me. No, I'd quite happily increase the Berbers' love of my state in order to get more Diplo support. So let's go ahead and give out those charters in order to get 100. And basically let's do the same for these guys. You'd already give me 100. I think influence needs to be over 70 to get 150, right? Yes. And I could actually do that. And you already are, so I can just go ahead and take the military support. So all of my... God damn, lost a bit of military there. I could tech up in military already and gain 3 innovativeness from that. I think that's a massive waste, however. I'm sure that's not the first time I've done that either. Let's go increase Urgel, Messina, Toyril. Basically anywhere that doesn't have very valuable production. Because the more I beef up the manpower in the production provinces, the more expensive production development gets. And that's not a good thing. That should do for now. My treasurer died. I'll get a new one. Do I want a level 2? I can definitely afford a level 2. Also, the prestige guy, very helpful. Could even upgrade you to level 3. Do it. I'm making enough. Still making almost 5 ducats a month. Nice. And we're about to core these 3, at which point I can make Genoa into a state and then get the plus 50% trade power from Genoa. Michel Filiplana is a very proficient merchant renowned for his attempts to improve the trade customs and stabilize the economy of the realm. I would love to have another point of stability. Thank you ever so much for that. See, it's already paid off. And there it is. Genoa was, in fact, the first to be cored. Let the trade funds really come in. I feel like actually playing as Genoa would be tough. Never tried it. Genoa is a lot of fun. I did enjoy Genoa. Genoa was probably my favourite trade republic because it's in the Genoa node, which is just so unbelievably valuable. Then Merchant Republics came kind of terrible for quite a long time, and then with the Dharma update, with the government reforms, republics are back in business, and I think the Genoa would be a lot of fun again. You do have territories over here, which frankly I do feel are a liability. You may as well get rid of those early, and then you want to head towards India, because if you can control the trade from India into Genoa, then my god, you can make so much money. They're really good fun. They're really, really good, and they will teach you a lot about merchant republics, because you want to keep your homeland small so that you have as many provinces as possible to spread out, and then you might even need like trade cities and things, because the province, you can only have 20 cored provinces as a merchant republic. You can still have territories, and you'd also need to use a lot of your trade posts, which you can have 1 per node. Quack. Hi, Mordred. Small question. How does the Spanish mission tree evolve when Aragon becomes Spain? Does it add to it like Castile does, or does the mission tree just become Spain's? I suspect it just becomes Spain's. I'm not actually sure. Guess who was on vomit duty at work tonight? You? So you'd attack Egypt then to get to India. Yeah, pretty much, especially with the idea of getting Suez. Or you could, I guess, go colonial and then try and go around Africa. And then that way you'd get the Horn of Africa. Genoa doesn't get trade steering bonuses, so you probably want the most direct route. You could always take lands over here later and then expand trade. One place you will want to try and get at least a little bit of control would be the Ivory Coast, though. It's such an important position because it basically determines where all the trade coming from the west goes. And if you can control it, then you can send it to Sevilla, and then Sevilla into Genoa. And also Genoa is interesting because early game Venice is a hell of a lot stronger than you are, but late game you overtake Venice, but you need to survive to that point. And there we go, Liguria can now be stated, which I 100% want to do. And I would like to core all of your provinces. I would like to make you a trade place. And I'd also really like to give you to the Jesuits. All provinces in state must be owned, so I need to take Nice from Savoy. You're only allied with England. That's a weak ally there, buddy. Venice is actually beating Austria. This is hilarious. Look at all of this. They've already taken Tyrol, which is like the gateway to Austria. They're through. They've done it. I just hate you're limited to only 20 provinces in Merchant Republic. I don't, with an asterisk point saying, read the small text underneath, and that small text is, they need to make trade cities subjects. They really need to make trade cities subjects, because how they currently work is kind of broken. If trade cities were subjects, then they'd be fine. It's an interesting challenge. Staying small and then having just little provinces here and there and everywhere, and then using your trade ships with the extra trade propagation bonus that merchant republics get to pull the trade in, rather than just having territory to pull the trade in. It also makes buying land a hell of a lot more effective, because you can buy a territory then trade company it. Also, don't forget trade companies do not count towards that cap, which is another reason you want to go east with Genoa. What are trade cities? They are basically one province miners that you can split out. They give you 50% of their trade. Their own trade is increased by 20%, so they boost it, and then that big boost goes to you. They do not, however, pay you any money. It's just the trade stuff, and they don't cost towards your limit. And also, they will join your trade league and don't count as an independent member. So they also give you all the benefits of having a big trade league. And they also count as a merchant republic themselves, so if they are in a trade node, then all the other provinces not belonging to a trade republic get an increase to trade power. No, not trade power. Goods produced, depending on your trade power. So, for example, if Aragon were right now a merchant republic in the Genoa node, we control 55% of the trade node, so 26% goods produced would be given to every single province in this area that we don't own. So like these French provinces here would have a 26% bonus to goods produced. And that, of course, also increases trade value, which means that your trade node is worth more money, too. What is my income from trade? My income from trade is currently 23 ducats. Which, considering it's not even 1,500 yet, is pretty good. But the problem with trade cities is they're not subjects, so you can't control them during wars very well. There aren't any special interactions with them, which is very annoying. And worst is if you have trade cities in the east, then people can tributize them, and then making them a tributary actually overwrites the fact that they are a trade city. Also, if they grow bigger than one province, which because they're not a subject, they probably will, then they break their trade agreement with you and become just another merchant republic. There's a lot of issues with how they're implemented, which I seriously think just making them a subject would fix. Plus, it would allow you to have some pretty interesting subject interactions. Like maybe controlling how much trade they give you versus how much money they give you, or stuff like that. How did you boost your trade so darn much in the early game? Take control over Genoa node. Seriously, Genoa node is just so ridiculously amazing. Also building up the centers of trade. So I've actually not done Zaragoza yet, so I can get more of a control. But yeah, controlling Genoa is critical. What do I think of the new way the idea groups have changed? Exploration, expansion, maritime, inflation, influence, etc. Expansion, exploration, I love that change. It's definitely boosted expansion to the point where maybe it's better than exploration, especially because it seems to be relatively easy to just buy people's maps. So, like, I have no real reason to go exploration anymore, because I just keep on, well, buying or stealing, sorry, because I keep on stealing Portugal's maps. But I really like how expansion works. Expansion's an interesting idea. Maritime, I think, is kind of hilarious, because I already thought it was really strong. But because there was such a community backlash saying this isn't strong enough, it's just got even stronger. I think that's more down to people not understanding what navies can really do, and they've just made navies even stronger. So, yay. Influence, never really take it, so I don't really know. I like what they've done to innovation. Innovativeness is nice, in that innovative actually gives you innovativeness gain, which is kind of cool, especially, and this is weird, the fact I've already got 27 innovative, which is really high, for not even 1500. Bouncy, thank you very much for the follow, welcome to the channel. Just started a new game as Byzantium, however I struggle with trade income. You will, because Byzantium is so small compared to the Ottomans. Also, the Constantinople node isn't amazing. But it is quite easy to take full control of Constantinople. Well, hell, you could even just get a lot of control by owning these two provinces. Just take these two provinces and then build up the centre of trade. And that should help you a lot. And it'd be relatively easy to pull in money from Aleppo, Persia, and Egypt. So there's a lot of things that feed into Constantinople, which makes it good, but early on it's not the best node. And also, Byzantium's not set up to be a trade nation. Aragon absolutely is. I mean, a lot of trade will very much depend on your trade ideas. Your point about the ideas is exactly why Paradox needs to stop listening to the Paradox fanbase. They don't need to stop listening to them, they just need to filter it a bit. And to be quite honest, if a large majority of the fanbase thinks that something is broken, then it might well be. And they had the numbers on that one. It was the least used, well, one of the least used ideas. Again, I think that that statistic was because people don't use navies, so it should be taken with a pinch of salt. And those who do use navies are just sitting and going, oh, fantastic, you've just made us stronger. But generally, if something's not used that much, it is for a reason. Although that would suggest to me that there's a bigger problem with naval power, probably. Or the fact that you can't colour the seas your colour. I think that's probably the main problem. Is that they're a lovely shade of blue. So if you're playing as someone like Venice or France, fantastic! You can pretend that the oceans are blue like you are. But if you're not, then you can't. I agree on that, but I want to add on the Liberty side that was moved to the Influence idea. I'm a Vassal Swarm player and love that one. Yeah, I know some people really love Vassal Swarm. I am not one of them. I much prefer having a small, centralized, tall nation of my own. Vassals tend to be a way of expanding, and I don't tend to do that very much. Well, they've already kind of added in a border name, or border colour, in that your names can now cross oceans. Like, all of this is clearly Aragon's water, because my name covers it. See, Aragon's actually at sea. What you don't realise is this is Aragon right here. We just happen to have access to some of the land over here as well. Like, we're aquatic. Actually, I think it's kind of funny that we're just in the ocean. Vassal Swarm is how you play Merchant Republics. It's one of the ways. Except Merchant Republics, one of their downsides, they have less relations. Because their trade league takes that relation slot down. Or it costs a relation slot. Vassal's a good fun place like the HRE. Yeah, Austria would be one of the few nations. Maybe one or two in India like Mysore. But that's one of the cool things about EU4. Just because I don't like vassals doesn't mean that it's not a legitimate way to play. You guys might love vassals. Fantastic. More power to you. Play with them. Just don't touch my navies. Who dat? Baggy, thank you very much. Oh, Bagev, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Portugal has embargoed me, and there we go. Austria will give Venice 10% of their income. Austria will pay money. You didn't take any land? Venice, what are you doing? You could have taken Tyrol. And then you could literally have started printing money, because you would have had a gold mine. Prolonged peacetime and changes in the economy had led to many of our salaried soldiers no longer considering the pensions we pay them sufficient. That's fine. I will take the professionalism hit and gain the production tax for even more money. Bosnia has amazing ideas for vassal swarm. Look at Mysore. Mysore are kind of bonkers for vassal swarm, especially because they get the unique government, which gives even more vassal contribution to force limit. I missed your message, did I? We should give Beyond Typhus a go. I have no idea what that even is. Oh, I can see Mexico. Hi, Mexico. So when did I say we can get another idea group's 10, isn't it? No, it's still a ways away. And what's my professionalism at now? 27. It has gone down a bit because of all the various negative events. Navarra still gaining. Do we need a diplomat for something? I feel like we did, but I don't remember what it was. I know I was doing a spy network on the Ottomans. We should also accept Ligurian now. Possibly even Andalusian. Although I don't see Andalusian growing as a percentage of my people. England would join, but all I'd need to do is sit on the Gulf of Almera and they would not be able to come in to reinforce. It would be really quite an obnoxiously easy war. And from there I can just take Nice. Which would be good, because it would be before France could take it. Oh, no. No. Because, yeah, I have some aggressive expansion. Just a little bit. Let's not do anything aggressive for a while. Unless it's like over here. Ottomans are fighting against Venice. Ottomans invaded the Knights? No! Although Venice has a huge navy. Hang on, this could be interesting. Venice's navy is huge compared to the Ottomans. Oh no, it's not. It's just not sorted. Venice has actually defeated some of their ships. That's very interesting to me. And in fact, the Ottomans have a coalition against them. Now, there's one thing that I know about the Ottomans, and that is they are extremely rich. There's another thing I know about the Ottomans. They have a huge coastline. And I could very easily invest in some more galleys of my own. So Horsa and Tunis would support them, but Tunis can't get to me. For much the same reasons. Tunis at war with Venice too. Tunis is not. So I'd need to beat Tunis's fleets, but beyond that, I'm free. And Tunis only has 7 galleys, oh dear. Then yes, I definitely want to have a spy network growing. In fact, what is my spy network against you right now? I know I have a spy network. Can I see that? No, I don't have any. Okay, fine. Well, in that case, I'm going to invest in a couple more galleys. Am I? When's the new galley upgrade? 10. Ah, sod it, they're cheap. So my galley fleet can't be added to because they're mothballed. We're 1 tech away from getting light ships. And once we get access to barks, light ships actually start becoming fairly useful. Alright, new question. How fast are these ships compared to each other? So your speed 10, your speed 8. So actually a galley is pretty damn good at blockading. It's the heavies and the cogs that suck at it. And yes, I want more galleys. Let's get another 9. We can always queue up more after this. It's an EU4 mod pack. Want to see Mordred playing as a landlocked country sometime, no go a Kazakh or something like that, just to see how it feels without a fleet. Watch my Rise of Prussia series. I don't do anything with ships for a long time in that. Adds more province reworks and a lot of ideas and stuff. Well, one of these days I want to revisit Mio and taxes. I really liked what they were doing there with that, and I'm very curious to see what they've done, if they've updated. I don't know if they have with Dharma. Kazan's the best cav in the game. Commonwealth? I played the Commonwealth game and it was such a ruffle stump. Royal marriages! That's what I was waiting for. Right, now I'm married so I can actually have an heir. That's why I needed a diplomat. I knew there was a reason. Need to make a how to do with navies in EU4. Love to see your tips on it just because it's an underestimated part of EU4. It's a hugely underestimated part of EU4. I mean, the most similar thing that I've done is, yeah, the trade tutorial, which talks a lot about how you can use navies to gain a lot of money. So I'd recommend that. I do have a YouTube channel if you haven't been over there yet. I've just hit 10,000 subscribers, so yay! You can find that on youtube.com/MordredViking. And just, like, do a search for tutorials on the channel, and you'll find it. There's basic trade and then advanced trade. I tried to split it up a little bit for those who wanted just to get a grasp of how trade works. Like the chap who was talking about trade in Byzantium, you might want to check that out. And then for those of you who really want to use trade to its fullest extent, check the advanced tutorial. Bearing in mind that was released before Dharma, so I don't talk about centers of trade, but that should be fairly self-explanatory. Big numbers, good. Beyond Typhus Mod and the idea group variations being played by Arumba, Lambert, Stegio, and Zippy. Yeah, I saw they had a multiplayer game going on. I meant to check it out, but I haven't had a chance yet. Birth of colonialism. Discovery of the New World has heralded a new era not only for the colonizers and the colonized. This has led to a spread of materials and techniques as well as the realization of the vast globe. Animals, crop types, silver, and diseases spread across the Atlantic. The first steps have been taken towards a truly global economy. But where is it? Cantabria. Interesting. Oops, diplomacy, I meant this.